UID, you were born soft. You were born into comfort. But somewhere along the line, you were supposed to wake up. We're supposed to realize that your mind, the same one that whispers, stop, you can't, is your greatest enemy. It's not the world. It's not your past. It's not your genetics. It's you versus you. And if you don't go to war with your mind will win. Every damn time. The mind is built to protect you, not to empower you. It's designed to keep you safe, to pull you away from discomfort, to wrap you in excuses. That's the trap. If you keep listening to the weak voice that says, take a break, sleep in, you're not good enough, you'll rot in mediocrity. You'll die before you ever taste what you were meant to become. But you can flip the switch. You can make your mind your weapon, not your weakness. And that doesn't come from reading books or watching motivation videos. It comes from suffering, from choosing the hard road, from saying yes to pain, from waking up at 4 a.m. when no one's watching and doing what the world refuses to do. That's war. You think your enemy is out there, but the truth is it's in your head. That voice that tells you to quit, that wants you to stay broken, that feeds your fear. That voice is your battlefield. And you don't negotiate with it. You dominate it. Every hour, you've got to fight. No medals, no glory. Just war. You want growth? Get uncomfortable. You want peace? First, earn it through chaos. Then break yourself. Push until your lungs burn, your muscles scream, your doubts explode. Only then will you find the other version of yourself, the beast hiding beneath the layers of excuses and softness. You won't find yourself in comfort. You won't find discipline and motivation. You'll only find it when you make the decision to go to war with your mind and never retreat. You've been lied to. From day one, you've been conditioned to believe that the obstacles outside of you, the failures, the environment, the people, the resources are the reasons you're not where you want to be. But the truth is, none of those things are stopping you. Your biggest enemy isn't the world, your job, your family, your background, or even your lack of opportunity. Your biggest enemy stares at you every morning in the mirror. It's your mind, that inner voice that whispers, you'll never make it, or why even try? That voice is not your friend. It's a liar, a manipulator, a coward. And unless you confront it head on, it will run your entire life. That mind of yours, it was designed for survival, not greatness. It's built to protect, not to push. It wants to keep you warm, fed, safe, and far away from pain. That's why it resists every challenge, every grind, every moment that requires grit. It wants the path of least resistance because that's what evolution taught it. But evolution doesn't produce warriors. It produces survivors. If you want to become something greater than just surviving, you have to override the very wiring of your brain. You have to treat your own thoughts like an opponent trying to rob you of your future. Because that's what they are. People don't fail because they're not talented. People don't give up because they don't have potential. People quit because they believe their own mental bullshit. They believe the excuses. They believe the fear. They believe the voice in their head that says, you're done. When in reality, they've barely even scratched the surface. That voice is the saboteur of dreams, the assassin of goals. It tells you to slow down when you should speed up. It tells you to rest when you need to fight. And unless you learn how to recognize it and push past it, you'll live your entire life under its control. Every person walking this planet has that voice. The difference between the strong and the weak is simple. The strong go to war with that voice. They recognize the lies. They see the patterns. When that voice says quit, they say, keep going. When it says, you can't, they say, watch me. This war doesn't happen once. It happens every day. Every workout, every decision, every cold morning when you'd rather hit snooze. The battlefield is your mind and the enemy is that soft, weak, comfort-seeking version of you that refuses to die. That voice in your head isn't going anywhere. You'll never kill it completely, but you can dominate it. You can shove it into a dark corner and refuse to feed it. You do that by doing exactly what it tells you not to do. When it says stay in bed, get up. When it says slow down, speed up. When it says you're not enough, prove it wrong. That's how you break it. That's how you take control. Not by reading quotes or watching motivation videos, but by putting in the work when you least want to. The world isn't holding you back. Your past isn't chaining you down. That voice inside your head, that's the real prison. That's the real enemy. It's the reason why people die with dreams still buried in them. It's the reason mediocrity feels normal. But it doesn't have to be that way. You can rebel against it. You can rebel against your own mind. But understand this. It won't go down easy. It will fight you every step of the way, scream at you, lie to you, beg for comfort. And that's exactly when you know you're finally on the right path. Comfort is the most seductive trap you'll ever fall into. It looks innocent. Help. It even feels good. Your bed feels warm. That couch is calling your name. The food is quick. The air conditioner is cold. The routine is easy. And that's exactly why most people never change. They wrap themselves in comfort like a blanket and wonder why they're drowning in weakness. Comfort doesn't care about your potential. It doesn't care about your goals. It only cares about keeping you numb. And the longer you stay in it, the softer you become mentally, emotionally, physically. When you make comfort your lifestyle, discipline dies. Hunger dies. You stop seeking challenge and you start negotiating with excuses. The truth is, growth and comfort do not coexist. They are enemies. You either chase your goals through discomfort or you sit back and decay slowly while telling yourself, it's fine. But it's not fine. Every time you choose comfort over effort, you're making a silent agreement to stay the same. And staying the same in a world that's constantly testing you. That's weakness. That's how people rot from the inside out. Comfort is deceptive. It makes you think you've earned it when you haven't done anything. You sit on your phone scrolling for hours, watching others grind, telling yourself you'll start tomorrow. That's comfort talking. That's your mind trying to protect you from pain. But what's worse, 1 hour of pain or a lifetime of regret? You think staying comfortable is keeping you safe. But what it's really doing is killing the fire inside of you. Every dream you had, every bit of potential you were born with, it's dying a slow, silent death. And comfort is holding the knife. People think pain is the enemy, but pain is just a signal. It means you're pushing. It means you're expanding. Comfort, on the other hand, is a drug. It makes you feel okay about being average. It tells you that you're good where you are. But if you're waking up tired of your own reflection, tired of your own excuses, tired of living below your potential, then it's time to recognize comfort as the enemy it truly is. Not a reward, not a destination, but a threat to everything you could become. You don't need another break. You don't need another excuse to rest. What you need is to get uncomfortable again. Wake up before the sun and put in the reps. Say no to junk food. Say yes to pain. Train when you're tired. Show up when you're broken. And do it not because it feels good, but because it doesn't. That's where transformation begins. That's where the weak die and the strong are born. Inside that suffering, inside that burn, that's where the real you is hiding. So if you want to change your life, you need to declare war on comfort. Poison, you need to run from it like it's trying to kill you, because it is. Not all at once. Not with a bang, but slowly, day by day, while you sit there convincing yourself you'll try harder next week. Comfort won't wait. It will consume you quietly. And when it does, you'll wake up one day wondering what happened to the savage you were supposed to become. Pain is not your enemy. It never was. Pain is the greatest teacher, the most honest mirror, the most powerful force for transformation you'll ever meet. But you've been running from it your entire life. You avoid it like it's fire, when in reality, it's the forge that sharpens your blade. Every lesson worth learning, every ounce of strength, every drop of self-respect, it's born through pain. You don't become great by avoiding pain. You become great by walking through it, by crawling through the fire and refusing to quit even when your body is screaming for mercy. People want clarity. They want purpose. They want confidence, but they want it without the cost. They want the power without the pain. It doesn't work that way. You don't find yourself on the sunny beach sipping smoothies. You find yourself in the dark pushing through one more rep when your muscles are tearing apart. You find yourself gasping for air on the pavement with your heart pounding like it's going to explode. You find yourself in the fight, in the suffering, in the moments where you're about to break and you decide to keep going anyway. That's where clarity lies. That's where power is earned. Pain exposes the truth. It tears away all the noise, all the distractions, all the fake confidence. It strips you bare and forces you to see what's really there. When you're in pain, you can't hide behind titles or talk. You can't fake strength. Pain doesn't lie. It shows you what you're really made of. And for most people, that truth is uncomfortable. But if you're brave enough to face it, to let the pain crack you open, you'll find something inside you that was buried. You'll find your potential. And once you taste it, there's no go back. The world is soft. It tells you avoid anything that hurts. Numb it. Escape it. But here's the truth. You can't grow without breaking first. You can't lead without bleeding. You want to be mentally tough? You want to be powerful? Then you have to step into pain willingly. Not just when life forces it on you. You have to choose it. Seek it out. Train in it. Leaven it. Because every time you endure it, run from it. You take the power back from your fears, from your weaknesses. People ask, how do I find strength? You suffer intentionally. You put yourself in situations where you're uncomfortable, where you're outmatched, where you're scared, and you fight anyway. When your legs are shaking, you put in the work when it hurts. And the more you do it, the more power you build. Not the kind of power you post on Instagram. The kind that sits deep inside your chest like a furnace. The kind that whispers, I don't quit. I don't break. I don't run. That's the power pain gives you. If you're man or woman enough to embrace it, you've been taught to avoid pain. But that's why you're stuck. That's why you feel lost, weak, empty, because you haven't gone far enough into the pain to see what's on the other side. There's a version of you that only comes alive when everything is burning, when there's nothing left but raw will. And once you meet that version of yourself, once you earn it through pain, you'll realize that clarity, purpose, strength, discipline, they all live on the other side of suffering. Discipline isn't a one-time decision. It's not something you master once and coast on for life. It's a daily war. Disciplined, you wake up soft. Undisciplined, tired, weak. And that's the reality most people never accept. Discipline isn't about motivation. It's about what you do when you feel like doing it. It's about creating a new standard every single day, no matter how you feel, no matter who's watching. Because every time you lower your standard to match your feelings, you lose ground. You start negotiating with laziness. And that's how people become forgettable. You have to set the tone every day, and not with some Instagram quote or a morning journal. You set the tone with action. The alarm goes off. Get up. Your body says no. Go anyway. The weight feels heavy. Lift it. The road looks long. Run it. That's how you reset the standard. You don't give your mind the space to argue. You don't give it room to bargain. You cut it off at the root and say, this is who I am now. And then you prove it with every choice you make, from the first second you wake up to the moment your head hits the pillow. Most people set their standards once, then let them fade. One tough week, one failure, one bad day, and suddenly it's all gone. They were working hard, now they're resting. They were consistent, now they're distracted. That's not discipline. That's hype. That's ego. Real discipline means you don't let life dictate your standards. You impose them daily. You sharpen them through repetition. You build them like armor. And when the day punches you in the face, and it will, you hold the line. You show up anyway. That's the discipline that separates the elite from the average. Don't confuse discipline with routines. Routine is ruthless. Discipline means saying no when everything inside you screams yes. It means going one more round when your legs are shaking and your lungs are on fire. It means doing the right thing, the hard thing, when no one's watching and no one will ever clap for you. Discipline is lonely. It's cold. But it's the only path to becoming something real. And the moment you stop honoring that discipline is the moment your potential starts dying. Quietly. Slowly. Without a sound. Creating a new standard isn't about doing what you did yesterday. It's about doing more. Becoming you crushed your workout yesterday? Good. Now do it faster. Do it longer. Do it better. Never let yesterday be the peak. Every day is a chance to raise the bar. And if you're not chasing a higher standard, you're standing still. You're regressing. That's the mindset most people never adopt. They think discipline is about maintenance. No, it's about elevation. It's about leaving the old you behind like a corpse and building a new beast, brick by brick, day by day. You want to break the limits of who you are? Good enough. Start creating a new standard of discipline. Not once a month, not when you feel good, but every damn day. You make that your mission, and you'll separate yourself from 99% of people walking this earth. Because most don't have the guts to be disciplined without applause, without comfort, without shortcuts. But you do, or you wouldn't be reading this. Now it's time to prove it. with action, with suffering, with relentless effort that doesn't care about how you feel. Self-doubt is poison. It doesn't show up loud and violent. It shows up quiet, subtle, creeping in like fog until you can't see who you really are. It disguises itself as caution, as logic, as humility. But don't be fooled. It's the most dangerous voice in your head. It tells you to wait. It tells you you're not ready. It tells you that you're not good enough, not strong enough, not smart enough. And if you let that voice speak too long, it will paralyze you, not physically, but mentally, emotionally, spiritually. You'll stop trying before you've even begun. You'll bury your own greatness before the world ever gets a glimpse of it. That voice doesn't come from truth. It comes from fear, from past failures, from trauma, from people who broke you and made you believe you're broken. But listen closely. Self-doubt doesn't have evidence. It only has emotion. And emotion is not a reason to quit. Emotion is not a reason to believe lies. Just because you feel weak doesn't mean you are. Just because you feel fear doesn't mean you can't overcome it. You have to separate emotion from truth. And the only way to do that is with one thing: action. Action is the hammer that shatters self-doubt. You don't fight those voices by thinking. You don't beat them by journaling or talking about them. You outwork them. You train when you don't feel ready. You speak up when your voice shakes, when your heart pounds. That's how you take power back. Because action builds evidence. It rewires your brain. It tells your subconscious. And over time, those actions stack up. You build confidence, not from compliments or support, but from the battlefield of effort, from walking into your fear and proving it wrong. Most people wait for confidence before they move. That's backward. Confidence isn't a starting point. It's a result. You move first. You go scared. You go unsure. You go unprepared. And every time you do, you punch self-doubt in the mouth. You suffocate it. You replace it with real data, the kind that can only come from sweat, pain, and grit. That's why the gym, the trail, the grind, they aren't just physical training. Warfare, they're how you silence the lies with truth. You think you're the only one with self-doubt. Everyone has it. The strong, the broken, the elite. The difference isn't that they don't feel it. It's that they don't listen. They act in spite of it. They show up no matter what. They don't trust their feelings. They trust their training. You've got to do the same. The longer you sit still, the louder that voice gets. The longer you wait, the heavier it becomes. But when you move, when you push forward even an inch, you start taking your identity back, not from the world, from your own mind. You can't answer with action. When it says you'll fail, respond with another rep, another step of sweat. You don't negotiate with doubt. You drown it in effort. You kill it with repetition. You suffocate it with commitment. That's how you win. Not with hype, not with affirmations, but with blood, grit, and the daily decision to keep showing up, even when your mind is begging you to quit. Weakness doesn't speak with logic. It speaks with comfort. It whispers lies like, take it easy. You've done enough. You deserve a break. And if you start negotiating with it, even for a second, you're already losing. Weakness is like a weed. It grows fast. It spreads wide. And the moment you stop fighting it, it takes over everything. That's why you can't talk to weakness. You can't reason with it. You have to destroy it every single day, ruthlessly, without emotion, without compromise. Most people want to be strong, but they're still holding hands with their weakness. They let it stay in the room. They give it space. They justify it. I'm not feeling it. I'll start tomorrow. That's negotiation. That's the voice of someone who's losing the war. Strength doesn't come from making peace with your soft side. Strength comes from war, internal war. A war where your standards crush your feelings, where your habits choke out your laziness, where you get up, grind, and suffer when no one's watching, not because it feels good, but because you refuse to be weak. Weave's body, it lives in your decisions, in your schedule, in your diet, in your sleep, in your excuses. It's not just how hard you train, it's how sharp you stay. It's how tight you keep your discipline. If weakness finds one open door, just one, it will tear the whole house down. You eat clean all week, then binge on the weekend. That's weakness creeping in. You hit the gym hard, but scroll your phone all night and sleep 4 hours. That's weakness taking root. And if you don't shut it down fast, it will own you. You've got to treat weakness like an intruder, You don't sit down and ask it what it wants. You beat it down and throw it out. You create rituals, systems, environments that suffocate weeps. You remove the option to quit. You eliminate the chance to cheat. You kill distractions. You monitor your every move. Why? Because weakness is patient. It will wait. It will watch. And the moment you let your guard down, it will slide right back in. That's why the war is daily. That's why there is no off season. People ask how to become unstoppable. The answer is simple. Stop compromising with your weaker self. Every time you let yourself off the hook, every time you let a low standard habit slide, every time you say, do it later, you feed the very thing that's trying to destroy your future. You've got to go all in on your mission. All in on your pain. 2. All in on the fight against the party that wants to stay average. Weakness dies when discipline becomes your identity. Not something you try, not something you fake, but something you are. You don't need more motivation. You need to shut the door on your excuses and declare war on your comfort zone. You don't talk to weakness. You don't make space for it. You wake up, you hunt it down, and you kill it before it breathes. Every time. That's how you build a legacy. That's how you become dangerous. That's how you make damn sure that the weaker version of you never sees daylight again.